Hi, wonderful people. Welcome back again, guys. We're going to be checking out another history, another documentary of Poland. Okay, this one says this shocking story of Poland, a nation erased and reborn. All right, I've gone through a couple of videos about Poland and the history and the rise. Really, it's something that draws me in, automatically, and I really can't wait to check it out with you guys. So the moment I came across this video, I was like, really, I gotta check this out. So please let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments. All right, and guys, please you can support my channel by becoming a member, buying me coffee, and subscribe, share, like, so you don't miss out a thing, and also help my channel to grow, guys. We're on our way to 10,000 subscribers, and you don't want to miss out on a thing. So please support us in every little way you can, okay? Because this helps me go further and further, okay? Without delay, let's get into it.
At its peak, it was one of Europe's largest states. Its constitution was among the most progressive on the continent. Its cultural diversity was unprecedented for its time.
Okay, was this before the World War? Was this before the war? Because yeah, they said it was a country that was at its peak. This was before the fall of Poland, right?
Unprecedented for its time. But then it vanished, completely erased from the map for 123 years.
How? 123 years completely erased from the map. Okay, all right, I'm trying to gather this because in my previous video about the history of Poland, I think there was a part where they said they went underground and rebuilt their forces and their school. Was this what they meant by going underground? This completely erased for 123 years. Was this the same time Poland went underground? Wow.
Years. How does a nation with centuries of history simply disappear? And more remarkably, how does it return from oblivion to help reshape the modern world?
Please, this is
The
mysterious.
extraordinary story of Poland. Not just a tale of conquest and partition, but of resilience, cultural preservation, resistance, and rebirth. Let's go back to where it began. The European power that
Please.
few remember.
Guys, I'm gonna take this video back a bit.
At its peak, it
I
was
need
one of
to
Europe's
feel
largest
it.
states. Its constitution was among the most progressive on the continent. Its cultural diversity was unprecedented for its time. But then it vanished, completely erased from the map for 123 years. How does a nation with centuries of history simply disappear? And more remarkably, how does it return from oblivion to help reshape the modern world? This is the extraordinary story of Poland. Not just a tale of conquest and partition, but of resilience, cultural preservation, resistance, and rebirth. Let's go back to where it began. The European power that few remember. Poland wasn't always struggling for survival. First, it was a continental giant. By the 16th century, the Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth stretched from the Baltic Sea nearly to the Black Sea, covering almost 400,000 square miles, twice the size of modern
This
France.
was a great country
This
on its
wasn't
own.
just territory, it was an innovation. While other European nations embraced absolute monarchy, Poland developed a constitutional system with an elected king and functioning parliament. While religious persecution raged elsewhere, Poland passed the Warsaw Confederation Act of 1573, one of Europe's first documents guaranteeing religious freedom. They called it Paradisus Judiorum, the paradise of the Jews, as Poland became home to 75% of the world's Jewish population. This was Poland at its zenith, powerful, progressive, diverse. But even giants can fall, and Poland's fall would be catastrophic. The beginning of the end. The first blow came in 1655 with what historians simply call the deluge.
Wow. So Poland was actually a giant country on its own before the attack. Oh no.
Called the Deluge. Swedish forces invaded Poland, beginning a cascade of conflicts that would involve nearly all of Poland's neighbors. The devastation was immense. One-third of Poland's population perished.
One third.
Cities were razed, treasures plundered. The Swedish army alone carted away enough Polish riches to fill 2,000 wagons. At Jasna
Swedish army.
Gora Monastery, just 70 monks and 180 volunteers held off 4,000 Swedish troops for 40 days, becoming a powerful symbol of Polish resistance. The Commonwealth survived the deluge, but emerged weakened and vulnerable, and powerful neighbors were watching. A nation erased. In the late 18th century, three imperial powers, Russia, Prussia, and Austria, saw opportunity in Poland's weakness. Between 1772 and 1795, they executed three systematic partitions of Polish territory. First, they took the edges, then more significant regions. Finally, in 1795, they divided what remained. Poland ceased to exist, not conquered, not subjugated, erased. For the first time in over 800 years, maps of Europe showed no Polish state. The partitioning powers didn't just take territory, they launched aggressive campaigns to eliminate Polish identity itself. The Russian Empire banned the Polish language in schools and the government. Prussia initiated a systematic Germanization of its Polish territories. Austria imposed its administrative systems on its portion. This wasn't an occupation, it was an attempt at national extinction. A nation without a state. But how do you kill a nation? As it turns out, not by erasing it from a map. What followed was one of history's most remarkable cases of cultural resistance. Though Poland had no government, no territory, no international recognition, it had something more resilient, its people. Families taught
No. This is way deeper than I thought. I don't know if I can handle this really. Really? Oh my. This is too much, guys. This is just too much.
the Polish language at home when it was banned in schools. Underground theaters performed Polish plays and poetry. Composers like Frédéric Chopin wove traditional Polish music into compositions that gained international acclaim. The Catholic Church became vital to preserving Polish identity, with parishes serving as cultural centers. Polish intellectuals developed the concept of organic work, the grassroots preservation of national identity through culture, education, and economic development. This wasn't just cultural nostalgia, it was resistance, blood and iron. But resistance wasn't limited to cultural preservation. Sometimes it involved swords, rifles, and doomed cavalry charges against imperial armies. The November uprising of 1830 to 31 began when military cadets attacked the Belvedere Palace in Warsaw. For a brief moment, Poland even established a functioning government again. The January uprising of 1863 to 64 embraced guerrilla warfare and created a sophisticated underground state, complete with its own postal service, education system, and currency. These rebellions were crushed with brutal efficiency. But each one kept the dream of Poland alive, not just among Poles, but across Europe. An international phenomenon developed, the Polish question. Polish revolutionaries spread across Europe and the Americas, creating influential expatriate communities. Heroes like Tadeusz Kościuszko and Casimir Pulaski fought for liberty in the American Revolution. Napoleon briefly revived a Polish state called the Duchy of Warsaw. Slowly, the impossible began to seem inevitable. Poland would return. Rebirth into fire. After 123 years of non-existence, Poland returned to the map in 1918 as World War I ended, but the celebration was brief. The new Poland immediately had to defend its borders against nearly all its neighbors, most dramatically in the Polish-Soviet War of 1919 to 1921. Against overwhelming odds, Poland defeated.
Over 123 years, the dream was still there, the fire, the desire, it's the, no, 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 no. This is great. This is heroic. 123 years.
Defeated Soviet forces in the Miracle on the Vistula, preventing Soviet advance into Central Europe and potentially changing the course of European history. Poland had barely 2 decades to rebuild before tragedy struck again. On September 1st, 1939, Nazi Germany invaded from the west. On September 17th, the Soviet Union invaded from the east. World War II had begun, with Poland as its first victim. The occupation was merciless. Poland lost 17% of its population, the highest percentage of any nation.
17%.
Warsaw was systematically destroyed. The country became the primary site of the Holocaust, with death camps like Auschwitz built on Polish soil. Once again, Poland was partitioned and erased, from one occupation to another. As World War II ended, Poland faced yet another cruel twist. Liberation came with Soviet tanks. As the Red Army pushed Nazi forces out in 1944 to 45, the Soviet Union established a communist government rather than restoring Polish independence. In a stunning act of geographical engineering, the entire country was physically shifted westward. Poland lost its eastern territories to the Soviet Union while gaining former German territories in the west. The Western Allies, who had gone to war partly to defend Polish sovereignty, effectively abandoned Poland to Soviet control at the Yalta Conference. For the next 45 years, Poland became a satellite state in the Soviet bloc.
Yet they never gave
Its
up.
government is controlled from Moscow, its economy subordinated to Soviet needs, its borders closed, its history is rewritten, but under the surface, resistance continued. The nation that toppled an empire. In August 1980, shipyard workers in Gdańsk went on strike. Led by an electrician named Lech Wałęsa, they formed a trade union called Solidarity, pronounced Solidarność. What began as a labor movement quickly evolved into something much more powerful, a mass anti-communist movement. Within a year, nearly 10 million Poles, about 1/3 of the working-age population, had joined. The communist government declared martial law in 1981, arresting thousands of Solidarity activists. But unlike previous Polish resistance movements, this one had unprecedented popular support, international backing, and a powerful ally in Polish Pope John Paul II. When Solidarity forced the communist government to negotiate in 1989, it triggered a chain reaction. The partly free Polish elections in June 1989 resulted in a crushing defeat for the communists. By the end of the year, communist governments had fallen across Eastern Europe. The Berlin Wall came down. The Cold War ended. The nation that had been erased from existence had not only survived, it had helped change the course of world history. The Phoenix nation today, Poland stands as a full member of the European Union and NATO, finally secure after centuries of struggle.
Okay.
Its economy is among the fastest growing in Europe. Its cities have been rebuilt and revitalized. Its cultural heritage is preserved and celebrated. But the scars remain in memories, in landscapes, in politics. Borders imposed by foreign powers still shape regional tensions. Historical injustices still fuel contemporary debates. The experience of erasure and occupation still informs national identity. For some, Poland's story represents the triumph of national spirit over imperial power.
Honestly,
For others, it embodies the human cost of geopolitical games. The truth? It encompasses all of these elements. A lesson in survival. Poland's story challenges our understanding of what makes a nation. It wasn't territory that was taken away. It wasn't the government that was dissolved. It wasn't international recognition that was withdrawn. It was something more fundamental, a shared identity, preserved against overwhelming odds. A nation vanished from maps for 123 years, occupied, partitioned, and devastated in 2 world wars, controlled by foreign powers for nearly 2 centuries. And yet here it stands. Perhaps the most important lesson from Poland's extraordinary journey is this. Maps can be redrawn, borders can be erased, but a nation lives in its people, and as long as they remember who they are, it can never truly disappear. Thanks for watching the History Story TV. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and let us know what resilient nation or historical comeback you want to explore next. Please check out the next video. The link is on the screen right now. Until next time, stay curious.
the history of Poland is one that inspires me a lot. Like, this is real resilience. From the zenith of the state of a country, the peak to nothing, absolutely nothing, totally erased from the map. And yet, the identity could not be erased. For 123 years, they kept the spirit alive. Wow. This is so inspiring. This is so motivating. Like, really? From the giant it was to nothing. From the giant this country was reduced to nothing, nowhere to be found. And with each attempt they tried to rise, and with each rising attempt they were crushed countless times, but they never gave up. Oh my god, this is inspiring. I think I'm gonna keep this record for myself and play it to myself every day because this is the power of resilience. Resilience. Oh my god, consistency. This is more than political gambling. This is beyond geography. This is beyond the map. This is way deeper, cultural and traditionally rooted. Wow. I feel broken somehow, but I feel this joy, this joy at the end of it to sit and look at Poland today and the rise. This is amazing, guys. This is beautiful. Wow. Please let me know your thoughts on this video in the comments. And if you think there are more details to this video than portrayed, please put it right there. I'm really curious. I want to know more, okay? I love this, guys. To my Polish fans, thank you guys so much. And I love you guys. Thank you. More than 123 years of being crushed down. Wow, this is great. All right, guys. I'll see you again in my next video. And I remain your girl, Lauren. Bye. Hey, Poland suffer for these people handle. Jesus.